name's Ken Carlson. I'm an attorney specializing in landlord-tenant law since 1980. I'm a graduate of UC Berkeley and Loyola Law School, and I run the caltenantlaw.com website. This is the first in a series about eviction. Today, we're going to talk about taking control of eviction. If you're like most of my clients, you're worried about all of this. Before you pay for legal help, you want to know if it's worthwhile, how much time you might have, and whether you have a case at all. I'm giving you these free legal consultations to answer those concerns. I've been doing this for over 40 years, and if you've seen my reviews, you recognize that what I'm telling you in these videos is what really happens. In this and the following video consultations, I explain each of the most common types of eviction and how you win them. Watch the ones that apply to you. At the end, I go over the eviction process itself in a little more detail. I simplify the law so it's easier to understand, and please recognize that in a video like this, I can't answer the particular details of your situation. This has to be done in a consultation with me or one of my attorneys. Also, please understand that in simplifying the law, I can't include all the exceptions to the exceptions, special conditions, and conflicts among the laws themselves. This also has to be explained in a consultation with me or my attorneys. As it is, what I'm going to tell you may be so much information that you have to re-watch the video a few times to get it all. Eviction is scary for everyone. It's a high-stakes game. This is your home. You see the homeless encampments and may wonder if you'll be joining them. The rich landlord has a full-time lawyer, which you probably can't afford. The whole process seems like it goes so fast. You don't know what your rights are. You've heard all kinds of horror stories, and there's a lot of misinformation floating around. You don't know the law or the technical process. You've never been through this before. You don't even know if you have a case, but your gut tells you that you do, which is why you're watching this. It's not knowing that kills you. Well, that ends right here. I'm going to explain to you what your rights are, how you're going to win the case, and what the process is. I'm going to pull you out of victim mode and put you in game mode. You're going to play the game better than the landlord and come out ahead. You may actually enjoy it. Let's get started. Now that COVID has passed, the economy is still struggling. The landlords got trillions of dollars from the government to make them the only business in America not to take a hit from COVID. But now they even want more. Meanwhile, many of you remain unemployed, marginally employed, and struggling to get by. The landlord doesn't care. There were laws that were put in place to protect tenants who are unable to pay because of COVID, but many of those have ended, and the protection is no longer there. There are many other laws that come into place and procedures you can use to help you win. All right, here's the bully landlord. He's going to show you who's boss. He's going to put his foot down. On a banana peel? What does that mean? Well, under the rental agreement, he had some control. As long as he does what he's supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do. But when he gives the eviction notice, guess what? He loses all control. Because there's no more rental agreement. He's, in effect, torn it up. So, if you couldn't change the locks before, you can now. Go to the hardware store. It's only about $20. Buy a brand new set of locks and put them on. He doesn't have a key, so he can't come in. You have taken physical control of the property. Even if the cops are called, they'll side with you. He's got to go to court. Under the lease, maybe you couldn't have a dog, or you couldn't have a roommate or sublease. Well, with no lease in effect, you can have a dog, you can have a roommate, you can sublease, you can paint the walls, anything you want. He can't stop it. What's he going to do? Evict you? He already is. And the best part, during all of this that you're fighting the eviction, you're not paying him any rent. What rent? He tore up the lease. All right, he thinks, okay, I'm going to get you out quickly in this eviction case. My lawyer promised it. Well, yes, the lawyer probably did, because he's expecting that your eviction is going to be like all the rest. If you stick with us, it's not. As soon as he files the unlawful detainer case, he loses control of that too. We take control. The last video in this series explains the step-by-step plan, also illustrated in the game board. This is what we're going to do if you want to use Tenant law. That's why it takes so long. The landlord's lawyers arrogantly call this dilatory tactics, as though your eviction is inevitable and you're just stalling. Actually, they're embarrassed because we point out all of his mistakes, and your landlord is angry over those delays. And they do make a lot of mistakes, as you'll see. Even if the judge disagrees with our position, you still got the extra time it took to get through that phase. By the time it's all over, the landlord's saber rattling has become his knees rattling, because he doesn't know what you're going to do to outsmart his very expensive lawyer this time when it comes to trial, and he doesn't want to find out. In a settlement, landlords will easily give you more time to move and even pay you to go just to make the pain stop. Why? Because you took control of the eviction. Let's talk about fighting the eviction itself. First of all, winning is in real terms. If what you really want to do is stay in place, after winning the case, you just renegotiate a new rental agreement with the landlord. If he refuses and files a new eviction case, you repeat the process while suing him and his lawyer for filing the first case. Winning for you might just be getting enough time to be able to save up the money, find a new place, clear your credit, and minimize the amount that you owe for staying there. In either case, you can achieve it when you take control. Now, whatever the basis for your eviction is, you have defenses and strategies that you probably can't even imagine. Landlord-tenant law is very complicated, and there's a lot of ways that you could win that only a lawyer can tell you, and it's not very expensive because of the way we do it. In our typical case, you are officially representing yourself, but the other lawyer and judge will know that it's really us with a U mask on. We prepare the papers, do all the strategy, coach you on what is coming up and what to do each step of the way. You control the cost by what you have us do. So, in case you're afraid of going to court, don't worry about that. Most of the time, you don't even need to show up. You just file the papers and they speak for you. If you really need a lawyer to appear for you at court, we can help arrange that. So you know, there are very few lawyers who help tenants in eviction cases, which is one of the reasons that caltenantlaw.com exists. If you win, you have the judge order that the landlord pay for your attorney fees and court costs. The case can be dismissed where the landlord gives up. It can be settled where the case can be sealed so it never happened for credit reporting purposes. There's all kinds of ways that you can achieve your ultimate goal by sticking up for yourself. You can get the time, save the money, find the place, and have no bad credit. You can even turn around and sue the landlord and his lawyer for trying to evict you, as well as not fixing the things they were supposed to fix, retaliating against you, trespass, invading your privacy, and everything else. You come after the landlord, and by that time, they're afraid of you. And of course, at the next party, you're going to have the best story. No one's going to believe you, and that's a good feeling.